Here we are. Christmas time again. Christmas. All the excitement, all the hustle and bustle. And if you're like the rest of us, a little bit of stress thrown in there.
I'm here to help you get through the holidays and stay a little bit more positive and a little bit sparklier, get some more energy.
So your opportunity, not a struggle, your opportunity here is to deal with those emotions, those feelings, and to
I have
exercise
a holiday
grace.
tip for you that I call staying
You have to
sovereign.
stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. You have to get it going. And the way you do
realize
that,
how easy it is. Feel calm, relaxed, peaceful,
I try to stay
and
clear of those
stable.
things that really just do not make the list. Just completely let go of
Major things
perfection.
that causes headaches. Right? We all think it's just stress, but actually, gosh, more than not, it is because someone is not.
And that you can handle any situation that comes your way in a calm, relaxed manner.
Simple breathing practices so that as we come on to the stressful holiday season, you can learn to manage any stressful situation, whether it causes you anxiety or starts to cause you a little bit of anger. We know how relatives can get a bit difficult around.
Because whatever you see before you go to sleep at night, your mind will replay.
Hi, my name is
whole
Guzalia
night.
Davis. I am a hypnotist and the producer of this project. Along with other practitioners, we've created this video to help you prepare for the upcoming holiday season. We'll be sharing tips and strategies to help you manage pain, sleep, and stress better. You will also hear a few tips that may help you avoid those unwanted extra pounds people usually put on during holidays. And throughout this video, you will be guided through a few relaxation exercises. So just watching this video may help you to relax and feel better. So get yourself comfortable.
My name is Michaels. I am energy healer. I am inspirational speaker. I am transformational mentor. All of these adjectives really are not that necessary. What I'm here to do is to help humanity, to support, to transform, to be really the best possible versions that they can be of themselves. Well, for somebody who has moved away about 20 years ago, I still kind of take it hard. Not as much as I used to, because now I have the tools that help me to work with missing my family and missing my parents and missing everybody from the country that I'm from, which is from the Czech Republic. But what I have noticed over the years is that there was a lot of emotional baggage that I kept holding on to over the years. So all of those wonderful memories I used to have growing up as a child, celebrating holidays, and then slowly transitioning to me being a parent and trying to do the same for my kids, I have associated with really trying to live my own dream as a child and trying to transport the dream to my kids. And I have realized this is really no longer my childhood, and I kept getting very emotional because I wanted to really have them a beautiful holidays. And later on, I realized it's really not about that. It's more about how I perceive the holidays and how I work with my emotions, because really, truly, it all came down to me missing my parents. There was so much sadness. There was so much, maybe even grief, because, you know, like now my grandmother is passed and I miss her terribly. But at the same time, that is really what helped me to understand. So it was mostly awareness with my own feelings and emotions to see what is going on and why is it coming up in these holidays. And it really kind of like fell into place for me. And the moment I was able to really release and process all of those emotions, it got really that much more easier. So to share quickly, I had to cry. I had to even scream in the pillow. And those were my tools. Those were my ways to process those emotions, to really help me to remove them from my memory, from my cellular memory, because they were stored in my body. They were stored there, and I kept bringing them back every single season, every single holiday. And so that was really something that I emphasized to my clients as well, especially during the holiday time. Grab those tissues, grab those pillows, grab those journals, do whatever you have to do, because there's always stuff that is stuffed under that needs to be brought to surface and released. And that's why it's really coming up. It's our bodies are telling us, hey, there's this emotion that's still kind of like, you know, doing a mischief in the body, like deal with it. And it brings it up to surface for us. So we can stuff it back, or we can just, you know, look at it under the microscope and say, hey, there's the sadness and I recognize it, and that's my opportunity to really process it and release it and move on. What I have noticed that once you have cleared those emotions, or I shouldn't say clear, once you have processed those emotions, and I have seen it with my clients and I have seen it with myself, those emotions are gone. And it could be sadness, it could be anger, it could be really any emotion that is causing that emotional distress, and you feel it, that anxiety, that depression, that anger and all of that. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's not coming back. You may be picking up other people's emotions as well, and that is something that I would like to address, but that, whatever is yours and you know it belongs to you, once you process it, once you cry it out, once you journal about it, it is gone. It is gone, and you will look back, you will try to really find it, and it will not be there.
When you wake in the morning, think about all the blessings that you have in your life. Think about the roof over your head, that you have food on your table, that you're warm, that you have a home, and that you have many blessings, and you woke up. This way you start your day already feeling great.
We got Christmas coming up. Christmas is a very stressful time. Families get together. There's lots of things to sort of organise for Christmas, and people get very stressed with it. So how do we cope with that? When people come and see me for regular hypnotherapy, and maybe they have an important business meeting or a presentation they got to do, and they come and see me for help and confidence building with that, what we do is work with them, do a course of hypnosis, and sometimes we make a CD for them, and we put in lots of suggestions to calm, relax, and that you can handle any situation that comes your way in a calm and relaxed manner. And we get them to visualise positively how the presentation's going, how they walk into the room, how they address the audience, and they're answering the questions the audience asks, and for some reason the words just flow from their mouth, just as easy as that. We can do the same for holidays and stressful situations. You can actually have a CD made and have positive suggestions that you'll remain calm and relaxed, and Christmas is here to enjoy, and you'll be able to handle any situation that comes around within the family in a calm and positive way. And you can get them to visualise seeing Christmas running really smoothly and really great. That's one way I've found that works very, very positively. And if you get it made on a CD, you can use that CD leading up to Christmas. You can continually use it, and it's repetition, 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 putting those positive suggestions within you, and then before you know it, you'll be able to give those positive suggestions out, and your day will flow really nice and smoothly.
Holidays may bring up a lot of memories, and old unprocessed emotions may resurface. And what is an emotion really? It's energy in motion. The emotions that we ignore and don't process correctly will be tucked away and stored in your body until you're ready to deal with them. And if you ignore those emotions for too long, this energy may start manifesting itself as a physical element, as a chronic pain or illness. As you can see, it is very important to deal with your emotions, and there are many wonderful tools to help you. Traditional therapy, meditation, yoga, hypnosis, these are all wonderful, but even simply talking to a friend can help you. And one of the easiest ways to release those emotions is to write it out on a piece of paper and then burn it. To write it out, you will have to remember what happened. And you cannot remember anything without experiencing the emotions you experienced then. And that is how you bring this energy out of your body and putting it out on a piece of paper by writing. And then you just burn it and let it go. It's that easy. Most likely, just watching us talking about it, you may start feeling some of your own emotions rising up and asking for attention. Kelly Nealon now will guide you through a very simple relaxation exercise that may help you to feel better already now.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Kelly Nealon. I'm the owner of Lasting Light Wellness here in Columbia, Maryland in the Wild Lake Shopping Center. I'm here to help you get through the holidays and stay a little bit more positive and a little bit sparklier and get some more energy and take the stress out. So we're going to do 2 exercises today. One of them is going to help build the energy in, and I'm going to talk about chakras, the different energy centers in the body, and how you can work those and help enliven you. And the second one is going to help you relax if you've had a really stressful holiday day. So for the first one, I'm just going to quickly tell you about what chakras are and a little bit of how they work, and then we're going to go through a meditation with them. So there's 7 main ones, and they go with the yogic philosophy, and they start at the base of the spine. The first one is the Muladhara chakra, and that's the root chakra. So the root chakra is going to be your center of safety, security, and grounding. So if that feels like what's off this holiday season, concentrate when we get to that red chakra. The second one is your sacral. The sacral works on sexuality and movement. The third one is your seat of personal power and your digestion. The fourth one is the heart chakra. So not only love relationships, but your immunity. So if things are getting you down, you know what to work on there. The throat chakra is your scales of giving and receiving. So see if they're on or off, and also communication. So if you have things that are stuck that haven't been said, you're going to work on that chakra. The Anji chakra is the third eye. The third eye sits with your seat of intuition. And then the crown chakra helps you communicate and connect with what's beyond us. So let's get started. So plant your feet on the ground, sit up nice and tall, or if you choose, you may lay down as well. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down, and close your eyes. Take a moment and tune in. Let your next breath be an even deeper breath. Let it come in and fully refresh your body. And with your eyes closed, you're going to visualize a light coming from behind you. And this is going to be a really warm, loving light. And you're going to look forward to it coming closer to your body. And as this light enters you, it's going to enter in the very base of the spine to meet your root chakra. So as it enters the base of your pelvis, it's going to open up the lotus petal flower there representing that chakra. And it's going to open up the energy of the red chakra. So just think about the loving life force giving energy coming up from the earth, the magma, the lava, the things that create in our planet, and being connected and grounded to that life force flow. Feel yourself being even more deeply grounded and connected, feeling a complete sense of safety and security as the red color fills your pelvis. The white light's going to continue upwards in your spine, and it's going to move a little further upwards until it gets into the middle of your navel and enters your sacral chakra. Here the energy is going to turn into an orange color. You're going to feel it open up and enlive. You're going to feel vitality, energy, and this is where if you need to tap into that during the season, just feel the orange color come in and bring life force energy. Allow the energy to travel up even further to the navel chakra. And here the energy is going to turn into yellow, the bright color of the sun. And here you're going to be able to tap into your own personal power. So feel free to let melt away anything that's currently getting in the way of you feeling that you're at your 100% best, that you're at your 100% best of personal power and energy for yourself so you can give to others. Allow that white light to continue to travel upwards into the heart chakra, the Anahata chakra. And here the energy is going to turn into a brilliant forest green color. So you're going to feel the energy and the vitality to increase your immune response, to get in touch with those relatives, to feel a sense of connection. Or maybe it's your time just to clear out the 4 chambers of your heart center from any energetic garbage you have in there. So breathe in deep, feel the energy enter your heart center and feel that expand front to back, side to side. Breathe more fully. Breathe in that luscious forest green color and sense of being connected. And then allow the energy to travel up a little higher to the Vishuddha chakra, the throat chakra, where the energy is now going to change into a lush ocean turquoise color. And you'll feel the energy flow through your throat chakra. And as it does, just picture ocean waves getting rid of anything that's congesting it, anything that you haven't been able to say to someone. If you feel like you've been over-giving during this season, this is the time to let that go and try to balance the scales of giving and receiving. You can think about having a friend invite you over for some tea or take a nice bubble bath, something to be giving back to yourself. Feel everything begin to clear away from your throat chakra. Then allow the energy to travel up higher to your Anji chakra, the third eye chakra, your seat of intuition, where the color turns into a beautiful indigo blue.
During the holiday time, a lot of emotions come up. It is so important to be aware of our own emotions and to constantly check in with ourselves, because what can happen is that we can take someone else's emotions as our own, and it happens all the time, especially during the holidays. You will wake up in the morning, you will feel really good, and all of a sudden, within 10 minutes, you may start feeling so sad and so anxious. And chances are that you are picking up on the anxiety and sadness of a person that either lives with you in the house, or it doesn't matter, it could be your neighbor, it could be anyone else. Because we are humans, we are constantly connected. Energy is one energy and we're always connected. So chances are you are so prone to, picking up someone else's emotions. And then you can be all confused thinking, I woke up this morning feeling so great. So how come I'm feeling all of a sudden so sad and so anxious? Like, what's going on? I have no reason to be. And this is the clue. You don't have a reason to be sad. You don't have a reason to be anxious. You woke up quite happy. And so that's a great clue to know that that may not be your feelings. During this time, close your eyes, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what percent of this feeling is actually mine? And pay attention to what number comes up to you, because there will be a number that will come to you. And you may have high 90s, or you may have like 2 or 3%. And this is a great indicator knowing that you took on someone else's emotions. So what do we do with that? Same like with our own emotions. We need to process that emotion because it's there. It's in our energy field. It's in our body. It's in our aura. So we have to process that emotion, and the way we process it is multiple different ways. Pillow is a great multi-tool to process emotions, and I use pillow quite frequently. I use pillows when I cry. I use pillow when I scream. I use pillow when I punch. When there's the frustration and you just don't know what to do with it, you go and punch that pillow. Or I can go into my car, I close my door, and I scream. Because I don't want to lash at my family members. I don't want to lash at my husband or my children. But I simply go close myself in the car and I give it a good scream, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times, until I feel that it has left my body. And let me tell you, once it's gone, as I said, it's gone. Another thing is journaling. You can write your feelings down. You can say, you know what, I'm feeling A, B, C, D, It's really not mine, A, B, C, D. It's not necessary to know where it's coming from. Please do not attach a story to it, because if these feelings are not yours, there's really no need to go back in time and your memory and try to like match that feeling to some story. It's really not important, and it's actually unnecessary. It will waste your time and energy. Just simply release it, process it, and let it go. You can do that by journaling. You could start really journaling. What is it that you're feeling? And you can even say, it's not mine, but I'm still feeling it. It's still there. So, you know, process it with journaling. Another great thing is to go out in nature. Go take a walk during the holidays. There will be plenty of time for that. Go out and take a walk in the nature. It could be 15, 20 minutes. Do yoga, do meditation, run, do movement, great movement, like workout movement, I mean. That's another great way to really release a lot of tension and stress or whatever other emotion there is. Listen to music. Listen to some either music that you know moves you. There's a lot of emotional music that moves us. Or watch some movies. And you know, during the holidays, there is the famous Hallmark. There will be those Hallmark movies. And so if you feel like crying, allow those tears, you know, allow those feelings to come up. Embrace it. Trust that that's your process. Trust that that's your releasing process. And love it. Love the whole process, because you know that once all of that goes, you will be a new person. There will be new room for more great, more elevated emotions.
I've learned through experience that the best way to beat stress is to set intention that you're going to have a great day. That no matter what happens, you're going to make the best of it. You're going to go, you're going to meet and see family you haven't seen for a while.
My name is Audrey Childers, and I'm a 10 times published author, holistic health coach, and the creator and founder of the hypothyroidismchick.com. With the holidays right around the corner, I wanted to share 3 healthy tips that I've learned in my experience from working with my hypothyroidism clients, as I believe you may find these suggestions very helpful this holiday season too. Keeping your stress to a minimal is the key. Stop expecting so much from yourself. Adjust your expectations and become more realistic of what your current abilities are. It's not a downfall, it's life. And how it is for you, how it is for me, how it is for anybody in general. Don't look at it like you're less of a person. Everyone has their own issues, and they might be better at hiding it than you. If you only have the energy for a few hours of activity, don't push yourself. Take your time and accomplish those activities as you can. You have to realize what is worth devoting your time and energy to, and try to stay clear of those things that really just do not make the list. Just completely let go of perfection. If you're tired from working all week or just tired in general, give yourself a time out. You can't give your best if you're not feeling your best. Stop beating yourself up over not being able to do everything. Make a list of what's the most important things and do that. Your home doesn't have to look like the Kardashians or Martha Stewart. Remember, those people have people helping them, if not doing all the decorations for them. So if all you can do is put up a tree, then just put a tree up and be happy. Take smaller steps to what you want to achieve. And this year, focus on what you can do instead of what you can't. Look for solutions instead of repeatedly dwelling on issues and the stumbling blocks. Besides, I'm over being perfect because, frankly, it's exhausting. Wouldn't you agree?
We all know about the mind and body connection, and we know very well that through our mind we can affect our body. We understand that positive emotions can help to heal our body and negative emotions can harm it. But also the opposite is true. Through our body we can affect our mind and our emotional state. And that is why you can feel so much better after a run or a workout. Physical activity helps us to release some of that stagnant energy and unprocessed emotions that stuck in our body. So make time for it. Pick the activity you enjoy. It can be dancing, yoga, or plain walking. Massage is also very effective for releasing that negative energy. Even just a few minutes of self-massage can help you feel better. Just massage yourself gently and imagine that you're squeezing out this old emotional pain, and you'll see how much better you'll feel. And don't underestimate the power of a hot bath. It can help your body relax and can help you release some of this negative energy. Make sure to add some salt. Salt has an ability to draw out toxins and neutralize a negative energy. And it doesn't have to be a fancy bath salt. Plain table salt can do miracles for your body and soul. Now, Affiliate 1 will teach you a really cool NLP technique. NLP is a neuro-linguistic programming. With this technique, you will be able to replace your negative feelings with the positive ones.
Think about a moment or an event when you feel a lot of stress, tension, or anxiety. As you're thinking about this moment or event in your mind, ask yourself, if this feeling had a color, what would it be? If it had a shape, what would it be? Let's just say, for example, this feeling of stress, tension, and anxiety looks like a red circle. Think about this red circle. Is it moving or steady? Is it nearby or far away? Is it blurry or focused? Now, think about a different moment or event when you feel calm, relaxed, peaceful, stable, and secure. As you recall this moment or event of this feeling, ask yourself, if it had a color, what would it be? If it had a shape, what would it be? Let's just say, for example, this is a blue triangle. As you're thinking about this blue triangle, think about, is it near or far away? Is it blurry or focused? Is it moving or steady? Does it have a sound? If it had a sound, what would it be? Let's just say, an example, this blue triangle is moving, radiating, making sounds of waves, sounds of ocean. Now, let's play a little game. Pick up your phone or tablet or any simple gadget that you use with a touch screen. Okay, now think about that first image of your negative feelings. Let's just say previously we talked about the red circle. Now think about, you're gonna pull out your phone. As you pull out your phone, you put that first image of negative feelings on the background so it fits into the full size of this touch screen. Now, next, think about that second image of your positive feelings, that blue triangle moving and making the sounds of ocean. Think about that second image is just at the lower left corner of this touch screen. It's about the size of a stamp. So now, on your touch screen, you got two images. The first image of negative feelings in the background, full-size screen. And the second image of your positive feelings just at the lower left corner, about the size of a stamp, in the foreground. So now we're going to do something very fun. We know how to swipe our fingers through touch screens. So now let's do some swiping. Put your hands at this lower left corner, right on the top of this second positive image. Then you start swiping, enlarging that second image across your entire touch screen until this little stamp size image of positive feelings completely replace the background image of that negative feelings. Let's do it a few more times. Think about all you have to do is to put your fingers on the image, swipe your finger across the touch screen so that you are enlarging this image of positive feelings, this blue triangle moving, making the sound of relaxing ocean across your whole screen. And it's replacing, as you're swiping, replacing the background image of that negative red circle. As you keep swiping, you realize how easy it is to replace your mental negative image with another mental positive image. Keep swiping a few more times. Every time, as you just swipe your touch screen, every time when you use this motion on your touch screen, it could be on your phone, tablet, or computer, every time when you have this motion of swiping, it reminds you how easy it is to replace the negative feelings of stress, tension, and anxiety with positive feelings of feeling calm, relaxed, stable, peaceful, and secure. This is something you could do at any time. Whenever you have a gadget in your hand, you could just always do the simple swiping. Even when you don't have any gadget in your hand, you could still do this. Imagine you're swiping and replacing the negative image in the background with a positive image in the foreground. After a few times of swiping, you realize that negative image in the background has totally disappeared, and you feel great.
Ah, yes. The Christmas season coming in.
That you can use whilst you're on the road when you're away.
What if you're traveling and you're a person that has pain, maybe
During the
chronic
holiday
pain?
season, you might be traveling a lot. You might be going through all this holiday shopping and rush, and you find it difficult.
For many, holiday season means traveling, and sometimes it means a lot of driving, and sometimes it means driving through a night. And do you know what is the worst time for driving? It's around 4 in the morning. At that time, all our bodily processes at their lowest point. Blood pressure drops, temperature drops, heartbeat slows down, and all the mind processes slow down too. It is for the best to just stay in bed at that time, but if you must drive, understand that you need to reboot your body, restart all the bodily processes. Otherwise, all your reactions will be slow and you're putting yourself into a dangerous situation. The best way to reboot your body is to eat and drink something warm, and then your body and mind will start functioning normal again. I know a cup of coffee may sound really good at that time, right? No, you're wrong. And here's why. Coffee beans contain 2 alkaloids, caffeine and theobromine. Caffeine is in the outer layer of the coffee bean, and theobromine is in the inner part. The caffeine, of course, is the most valuable part of coffee. It is what you're looking for when you want to boost your energy level, but its effect lasts only about 20-25 minutes. After that, theobromine will relax every system in your body. It will dilate your blood vessels, causing your blood pressure to drop, and you will get sleepy. That is why usually just half an hour later, after your first cup of coffee, you feel that you need another one. And here you go into this vicious cycle. And that is if you brew ground coffee. Remember, only the outer layer of coffee bean contains caffeine. And if the whole coffee beans will not be ground for sale, the outer layer of the beans is usually used for deriving caffeine for farmer and for making energy drinks. And whatever's left, only the inner part is used for making instant coffee. Instant coffee contains mainly theobromine and only 0 to 5% of So if you
Mm-hmm.
have trouble sleeping, have a cup of instant coffee. It makes an excellent sleeping aid. And if you need to stay awake, have some tea instead of coffee. Both green and black tea have caffeine and both do not contain any theobromine. Tannin in tea slows down absorption of caffeine and creates this time-released energy boost effect. Black tea releases the caffeine the slowest because of the highest content of tannin, and its effect lasts up to 3.5 hours.
When you're on the road, emotions can pop up. You can even have physical pain from these emotions. Whatever the case is, there are tools that you can use whilst you're on the road. When you're away, you go to, let's say, you travel for holidays and you're not with your family or your loved ones, you're all by yourself, or different kind of scenario, but there is pain, right? You feel pain, you feel emotional pain. The most important thing is to really honor yourself, get in touch with your feelings, and understand where these feelings are coming from and how you can quickly release them. So pain equals sadness, sadness equals fear. Like all of anything that we have that is painful is caused by emotions, and chances are they are there, you know, in our subconscious. They are stored in our memory, and they pop up every time there's an experience that sort of brings that emotion up, and they're kind of matching, that pain matches that experience that we've already had. And we're so afraid to go back to it, and we're so afraid to revisit it. But the quicker you revisit it, the better off you will be, because once you let those emotions out, that pain will slowly diminish. That pain will really go away.
What if you're traveling and you're a person that has pain, maybe chronic pain, and traveling is tough for you? So you're traveling, you have chronic pain, even though you have your medications and stuff. Being out there on the road, plus the stress of the holidays, makes your pain spike. Well, here's a tip that I learned from a very, well, he was famous in his own right. He's a Spanish surgeon, and he found out that by stimulating the sympathetic nervous system and telling the body what you want, you can create anesthesia. He did full surgeries with no anesthesia and only this method. And I have used it with my clients. Right now, I have a pre-surgical client. She's due for surgery in about a week. So for the last 2 months, she has known she has surgery coming up, and she's had to work and do traveling, even exercise before her knee surgery. And she uses this method and has super cut down on the pain, even better than months ago when she was trying to get shots for her knee, and the shots relieved it. But this has worked even better. So here's how you do it. You have to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. You have to get it going. And the way you do that is you fill your mouth with saliva. Just make saliva and hold it in your mouth. That stimulates the system to listen to you. So while you have lots of saliva in your mouth, keep making it. Let's take my client as your example. Let's say you have knee pain. You say, my knee is anesthetized. My knee is anesthetized. And you keep doing that while you have saliva in your mouth. My knee is anesthetized. And you'll find that the pain melts, that the knee is actually anesthetized. This doctor, there's videos on YouTube. I believe his name is Dr. Angel Escudero. And he has videos in Spanish and English. They're incredible. Most of them are old. I mean, he started this way back in black and white. So this isn't something cutting edge. This has been around for a while. And he even shows, I can't watch them all, but he even shows full surgeries using this method with his patient, talking and interacting, no anesthesia, just this method. And he'll check with the patient and say, do you still have saliva in your mouth? Show me your tongue. And they stick their tongue out and they show that there's lots of saliva. And they just keep telling themselves, my knee is anesthetized. My knee is anesthetized. Now, when he demonstrates this for a group, there's lots of those videos too. He'll demonstrate it as a lecture. He has a volunteer come up and say, and do the method, and create the saliva, and they'll say, my arm is anesthetized. He'll pinch the arm and they don't feel anything. Then he pinches the other arm and it hurts them. And then he pulls the skin up and he puts a surgical needle through that skin and they don't feel it. They don't feel it at all. And then he tells them to turn it off, say it's no longer anesthetized. And then they feel that. And then he'll tell them, let's just say there's feeling in the whole arm except for the holes where I put through the needle. And so their arm feels beautiful, normal, place where the needle went through is anesthetized, so they feel nothing, they feel no pain. It's pretty incredible. And let me tell you, I did that this morning because I had some muscle pain in my back. I think I overdid it on one of my exercises yesterday, and I used this method to turn that pain off. At first, I wasn't feeling it, so I kept changing the way I said it, because I think the problem was I was saying that the muscle needed to be anesthetized, but I think it was way deep in my back, and it might not necessarily have been a muscle, it might have been a tendon. So I just said that area deep in my back is anesthetized, and now it feels fine. There are other pain methods, but to me, that one works the best, and you don't need any equipment. You can do this anywhere because no one will notice if you're saying something in your mind or you're holding saliva in your mouth. It's beautiful. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. So at Christmas, if you're traveling or any other time, you can anesthetize a part of your body with pain and get through your day or get through your time before a surgery. It's pretty amazing the way that works.
You might be traveling a lot. You might be going through all this holiday shopping and rush, and you find it difficult to sleep, either because of the excitement or because of the stress, tension, or anxiety. Now, let's practice a simple exercise to help you to sleep better. Okay, as we get started, all we have to do first is to count. We're going to start counting from 20 to 1. At every count, what you're going to do is you inhale slowly, squeeze your index finger and the thumb, exhale, release, and close your eyes. Once again, like we're practicing it, 20. Inhale, squeeze your fingers. Exhale, release, and close the eyes. 19, open your eyes. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release, and close the eyes. 18. Inhale, squeeze, exhale, release and close the eyes. And you'll repeat that for every count. From 20, count down to 1. There were a few times that I was kind of getting confused myself as well. That is because my eyes are getting tired, my mind is getting more relaxed. As you're feeling your eyes are getting tired and relaxed, your mind is also getting tired and relaxed. If you don't feel like keep opening and closing your eyes, you can just keep your eyes closed, but just keep counting. Keep counting as you inhale, squeeze your fingers, exhale, release and relax. Every time when you count, inhale, squeeze, exhale, release, you send that feeling of release and relaxation all over your body, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Once again. As you count down to 1, you can just keep your eyes closed. Simply keep your eyes closed, but keep doing this. Inhale, squeeze, exhale, relaxed. And you'll notice this motion of squeezing your fingers is like pressing a button on a remote control or on a control panel, pressing this button. And as you press this button with your eyes closed, think about this button is a sleep button. You press it and you start hearing the sound. This is your internal voice saying sleep. And because this is a play button, you get to play the sound sleep. There's also a way, like a dial, to turn the volume up of this sleep sound. So how do we turn up the volume of this internal voice of sleep? It's very simple. Once you play, you just turn. All you have to do is to rub your index finger on your thumb. Draw a circle. Keep drawing this circle. Rubbing and drawing the circle. This is like a turn. You can keep turning up that internal dialogue, telling yourself, sleep, sleep, sleep. And you'll notice this is unlimited. What it means is, as you hit the press button to play and you start turning the volume up, this internal voice is unlimited. It could be as loud as it can. It could be as slow as it can. It could be as calm and as peaceful as it can be. It's all up to you in your fingers to turn up this internal voice of sleep, sleep, sleep. All you have to do to help yourself to fall asleep quickly and sleep better, sleep more deeply, is to practice the counts that we're talking about, 20 down to 1. Inhale, press the play button, exhale, release and relax. The next count, open your eyes, inhale, press the button again, exhale, release and relax. Down to 1, keep your eyes closed, making sure your eyes are tired and relaxed enough that they just want to stay closed. And then start playing with the volume between your fingers. Keep turning, turning and turning to the unlimited extent of the volume that you could tell yourself, sleep, sleep, sleep. Hope this helps you to work on any sleep issues during the holiday rush or the holiday excitement. I hope you'll get really good nights of sleep right before falling asleep. Practice this. Sleep well.
Ah, yes. The Christmas season coming in, when you will be invited to Christmas parties. Whatever you do, please drive safely. Keep those you love safe also. Choose a designated driver and do it in advance so that nobody has to figure it out later on when the critical mind filter after a couple of cocktails is not working very properly. This will save you a lot of stress. It will also keep everybody
There is an
safe.
old Russian tradition to sit down for a moment before leaving for a trip. Everyone's 100% ready to leave. All dressed, everything packed, the bags are already by the door. Usually the oldest member of the family says, "Присядем на дорожку," which means, "Let's sit down for the road." And everyone sits down, lowers their head and looks down. This is a moment of silence and concentration. And just a few seconds later, the oldest person will say, "Ну всё, поехали," which means, "That's all, let's go now." While sitting down in the silence, your subconscious mind checks for all the important things not to be forgotten. These few seconds give you a closure on your preparations and sweep away all your anxiety and worries that you may have attached to the trip. Also, by turning your focus inside, you are gathering, bringing back and concentrating all your energy. From that very state, imagine, visualize, just for a few seconds, that your trip is going very well. By doing so, energetically, you're paving this road for yourself, and that will ensure a better and a safer trip.
Happy holidays, everyone. Christmas, oh my goodness, and the holidays and New Year's. It is such a special time of the year. Sometimes we as moms, we just try to make everybody else's life perfect through the holidays, and we get through with such a rush that we forget to enjoy it ourselves. So if there's anything that I hope that you get out of this, that you need to set some boundaries. You need to take care of yourself. I know easier said than done, but I've got to tell you that when I look back on a lot of this, my children really will remember all of the small little things more so than they do all of the big gifts and the perfect Christmas that you try to make for them.
So holidays can be stressful, and they can be stressful for kids. When my kids were small, I was worried about having trouble on Christmas Eve because Christmas Eve is so exciting. I know I was so excited. The trees, the decorations, the cooking, the giving, all the presents wrapped under the tree. I knew that when I was a kid, like we had a big, huge staircase, and we'd wake up well before dawn, and we'd sit down on the staircase, just pray for our parents to wake up. We were told we were not allowed to wake them up. And that was really torture. So I wanted to make sure that, I knew I was going to be tired, that I could sleep a little bit, but my kids wouldn't be up all night. Our little trick with our children was, we told our children that They couldn't come out of their bedrooms until dawn, until they saw sunlight coming up. And I knew when dawn was, so that was early, but it wasn't so bad. I think it was usually in the 7-ish area. That kind of cured the problems on Christmas Eve, because they wouldn't wake up all night long and not get any sleep. They'd go to sleep because they knew they couldn't get out of their bedroom till dawn, so there was no use for them to actually toss and turn all night. They just didn't do it. That worked really well for us. And at dawn, we expected them to come and get us, and we weren't grumpy about it because that was our plan. Our only thing that really held them back was that they had to wait a couple of minutes while Dad got the video camera ready. He wanted to film them coming down the hallway and seeing the tree and the gifts all for the first time.
Hi, I'm a yoga therapist in Catonsville, Maryland. My name is Sandra. Many of my clients suffer from a bit of anxiety, and they don't often realize that the way they breathe can often affect how that experience manifests in their life. So I would like to share with you some simple breathing practices so that as we come on to the stressful holiday season, you can learn to manage any stressful situation, whether it causes you anxiety or starts to cause you a little bit of anger. We know how relatives can get a bit difficult around holiday times. So if you wish, you can have the eyes open or closed, and you'll just sit as tall as you can. You can sit at the edge of a chair. You could sit on the floor if it's comfortable. You can even do this lying down. But if you wish, just place your hands on your lower belly, and you'll notice if the belly rises and falls when you breathe in and out. And you can also notice things such as whether the breath is smooth or is it irregular. Does the breath be held out for quite a while and all of a sudden you feel starved for air, so you gasp the breath in? Can you smooth your natural breath out a little bit without too much stress? Just a nice deep breath in and then a nice slow calming breath out. And you'll find a pace that feels natural for you. And if you wish to use a timer or a clock that ticks, then you can aim for a breath ratio of about 4 seconds in to 4 seconds out at the beginning. So this would be an inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And as you practice this breath, if you wish, you can begin to extend the length of the exhale breath until over time perhaps you're strong enough, you're comfortable enough to extend the exhale breath to twice as long as the inhale. So as you're inhaling, it would be inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you refine your practice, perhaps you leave one hand on your belly, one hand up on your chest. And you can notice if the belly hand moves or does the chest hand move. So if you're breathing up into your chest, that can also increase your anxiety. So as you refine that basic practice, see if you can get the bottom hand to move. Get the breath to move downward into your belly. See if you can let the chest hand move a little bit less. And just work on this a little bit every day. If you start before the holiday season starts, before your problematic relatives show up, then perhaps you'll be an expert and you can begin to practice this when somebody gets under your skin.
Sometimes over Christmas, if you've got no family around or you're away from home and it gets lonely, you could always go and volunteer and work for somewhere with the Salvation Army. Normally they have a horse somewhere and they put on a Christmas meal for the homeless, and that way you're involved with helping cook the meal, talking to the homeless people and making that Christmas for them as well, and the reward is watching them enjoy their meals.
During the holidays, Christmas time, you're starting to feel a little bit lonely. Maybe you don't have family, maybe your friends are all busy. I think this is the best time of the year to go out and do something nice for yourself. Treat yourself. I would every year, because I didn't have a big family, so every year as I was buying gifts for people, I would buy something for myself and wrap it up and put it away in my little drawer. And come Christmas time, I would have all of these gifts for myself, to me, from me, and I would put them under the tree. And when I opened them, I was always surprised because I, no matter what, forgot about every single one that I bought. So it was really nice on Christmas morning to have gifts to open from myself. And while my son was opening his gifts, we would take turns, and so it was really nice. And the other thing that you can do is take yourself out. If you can afford it, go away somewhere for a few days. Go somewhere sunny. Take yourself to a movie. Order in a fancy dinner that you might not ever do any other time. So there's lots of things you can do in order to not feel lonely, even though you're alone.
Become your own best company. Plan ahead, buy yourself some gifts. That's what I did when I finally decided to stop buying gifts for all the people that didn't really matter to me. And I used this money to really treat myself. Prepare your favorite food and cook enough to last a few days so you don't fill up on junk when you might not be feeling like cooking for yourself. Plan out your entertainment. Pick out movies and music ahead of time. And set time for a phone call or a video chat with your family or friends. There gotta be some people in this world that care for you. Let them know ahead that you'd like to connect during holidays and agree on specific times. This way you'll save yourself from disappointment when trying to call people that are out of reach. And remember that it's a whole lot better to be alone than to be with someone and wish to be alone. Trust me, there are so many people in this world that would be happy to swap places with you. The time you can give to yourself fully is a real luxury.
One of the other things that I do every single year is I start my Christmas shopping in January. When the Boxing Day sales go on, sometimes I go out, and throughout the year, if I see little things that I think someone might like, I buy it and I put it away in my little drawer. And I just do this throughout the year, and come around November when I open that drawer, I am usually overflowing with all kinds of goodies, usually tons of things I forgot I bought. And so what that does is keeps me from running around like a mad woman trying to get all my Christmas shopping done last minute. And it also kind of evens out the money stream. You know, when you're buying gifts in October, November, or December, all the money's going out at once, and you notice that. And it can be a bit of a drain. So by doing it throughout the year, I don't even notice it, and I'm ready to go come Christmas time. I'm one of those people that always likes to give little gifts, so it makes me feel really good to know that I have a little stockpile put away, and then when people stop by unexpectedly, I can pull from that, and I have some things that I can give to them.
It is always good to ask ourselves, how would I like this particular present? Now remember, you cannot buy or get to the person something that you love. You have to know that person. You have to know what their likes are. You have to know what their dislikes are. And just because they love one particular sweater and you absolutely despise it does not mean that you don't go and buy it for them, because that shows that you love them. Now, personally, I lately have been exercising the experience over any gift. And let me tell you, that is really most gratifying thing, because yes, we can get so many material, beautiful gifts, but in a year or two, you will not even remember who gave them to you. This is really, again, the feelings are so important in gift giving. And I always like to add more experience into gift giving. So instead of going and just buying what I think that person may like, I also like to think about what are they like? What gives them joy? What really rises their vibration? And if I know it's a certain experience, I know that they may be really appreciating some kind of massage, then, you know, there's always a gift certificate for massage, and you know that they will appreciate it. If it's a person who loves chocolate or loves to relax with champagne and chocolate, you know, there you have it again. But these are all material gifts. You can always be creative by doing something from your heart. You know, you could doodle a beautiful card for them, or you could take them out for dinner, or you can take them out for a movie. It really doesn't matter. The sky's the limit. The creativity is the limit. You can really do whatever you want to honor that person, but it's really all about making them feel good, making them feel appreciated and loved. And that's really what it's all about during the holiday time. Now, if somebody gives you a gift that you are not necessarily in love with, and that happens quite a bit, especially between spouses, would you really go and say something to them to hurt their feelings? Or would you really appreciate the fact that they went out all the way out to give you something that they thought was something nice? Again, what is the energy behind it? You know, is it the appreciation? Is it the gratitude? Is it also the compassion that you understand that they may not know really what you like so much, but that opens up a door to a conversation? If it's something that bothers you so much, in a loving way, you can open up your mouth and say, look, I know how much you love me. I really do. And this gift, I know you're trying to show me how much you love me. Now, I don't think that I would necessarily choose this gift if it was my choice, but I really want to appreciate that. It's more of giving grace, give him compassion, and understand that he's doing something out of love. That's his way of showing you love. And this is actually something important to emphasize when it comes to gift giving. Gift giving is actually one of the 5 love languages. I'm sure you are familiar with the book, 5 Love Languages. And gift giving is actually one of the ways how to show love. So not necessarily everybody has that kind of language as their first. I, for example, don't have this gift giving as a love language. And chances are there may be a spouse that to them, gift giving is #1 love language. So if somebody gives gift to another, and it's not received the same way, then there may be harsh feelings. And so it's important to understand that we all talk with different love language. That again opens up conversation to later on to say, hey, you know, I understand that this is how you show love, and this is how I show love, and this is what love means to me. And this way, whoever's giving the gift and whoever receiving is, you know, can be on the same level. There's also a situation with giving and receiving when it comes to presents. Many of us, especially women who are caretakers, we are wired to give, provide. And our hearts are wide open. When it comes to receiving, we may have a harder time receiving gift, or receiving love, or receiving attention, whatever have you. We're with gifts. And so what happens is, if I am a person who has a hard time receiving a gift, and somebody goes and gives me a gift, and I really cannot accept it because I have a hard time with that, or I show it, I say thank you, but I show my reluctancy and all that, I'm actually robbing them from experience of receiving. Because by me accepting with love and saying thank you, I really, really love it so much, they receive this feeling of love as well. So if somebody gives you a gift, really appreciate it. Don't look left and right. Just really understand that there is love behind it. There is this beautiful connection behind it. That's why they're giving you that gift. And don't rob them from that experience of giving and receiving at the same time, because giving truly is receiving. So understand that part and just simply say thank you so much, because it is given from love, and anything that's given from love and heart is always a great gift.
Approaching the biggest gift-giving season of the year, and the gifts can bring a lot of joy and satisfaction to both givers and receivers. But truth to be told, sometimes gifts can hurt us too. In my office, I've heard countless stories from my clients about the gifts that caused a lot of pain. Often people wonder if some gifts were truly meant to hurt them, or it's just their own imagination that causes all the pain. And sometimes people just cannot stop thinking about it for a very long time, sometimes for many years. So how this simple gesture that's supposed to bring joy has an ability to create long-living trauma? The truth is, if a gift really hurts your feelings, it probably was meant to do so. Every gift is an expression of true feelings of the giver towards the receiver. Of course, these are unusual, extreme cases, and I hope you'll never find yourself in this situation, but if you do, returning a gift like this will be one of the most therapeutic experiences you'll ever have. A gift is a reflection of true feelings, of attitude towards the receiver. Every gift carries a message. So when you go shopping for a gift, stop and think about what kind of message you're sending. And if it's not a nice one, it's a clear sign that it's time to reflect on that relationship. Possibly it's not a really healthy one and needs some healing. Or maybe you just have grown out of this relationship. So instead of wasting your money on a gift that's supposed to express your true feelings, consider giving a real gift to this person and yourself. A gift of freedom from this entanglement.
You're going to take a nap because you're going to be up late tonight.
You're tired. You can be a grouch.
3 o'clock in the morning, you're laying there wide awake and you can't sleep.
We want you to get the best night's sleep.
How would it feel if I were calm in this moment? And you will feel immediately that calm.
Sleep is crucial for our health, but for many, getting a good night's sleep can be difficult for many reasons. And during holidays, with all the excitement and traveling and so much going on, it can be even more challenging. Here are some tips that may help you to get better sleep.
For your kids, making sure that they have enough sleep is key. Sometimes they're getting a little old for naps and things, but you need to tell them, this is a special time of year. If you're going to take a nap because you're going to be up late tonight, you probably need a nap yourself. So you can say, you're going to take a nap and so am I. And I'm an adult. I'm all grown up. I'm still taking a nap. So you can talk to them about having extra rest and why that's important. And they'll understand that, especially if you're participating. You're taking a nap too.
But another thing that we have to look at is sleep. If you're tired, you can be a grouch. To get better sleep, and while you're sitting there and all of these things are going through your head, one of the things that I do every night is I take a magnesium drink. It helps relax me. Magnesium alone is responsible for 300 functions in your body. It's huge for your muscular system, and your biggest muscle is your heart. But magnesium, any way you can get it is good. And I take it in several different ways. But to get better sleep, it's wonderful. You can even get a magnesium cream. It's great for children. It's safe for them. Rub it on the bottom of their feet. Rub it on the bottom of your feet. Put some socks on, hop in bed. It's amazing. Your stress can come from hormonal issues. You know, I have all kind of things in my little bag that I use for me, using a human growth hormone gel right now. And it's homeopathic, it's a gel, it's transdermal, it's wonderful. But human growth hormone with it also has adrenal support and thyroid support. It's amazing. It has really helped my sleep be a whole lot more deep, and it is only getting better the longer I use it. So there's all kinds of ways that you can get better sleep, and it really is important, not just for you, but it's really important for your kids too. So, you know, make sure they're all excited for the holidays, but, you know, make sure that, you know, they get to bed on time and they get their sleep, because boy, when you have a whole bunch of kids and moms and dads that haven't got the right sleep, it's a recipe for disaster. Everybody's a whole lot happier and healthier when they've had their sleep, because that's when our body repairs itself.
Come the holiday season, all these things are running through your mind. You've got all of these things you don't want to forget, things you have to do, and sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning you're laying there wide awake and you can't sleep. What are some tips for sleeping? For myself, number one is I have a bedtime routine. I go to bed at a certain time and I have a bit of a routine, so it starts to alert my body that, hey, it's getting time for nighttime. And I also, if I find myself lying there thinking about all the things I have to do tomorrow, I just say to myself, you know what? I don't need to think about this right now. And I promise myself that I will deal with it tomorrow. And that is what gives me permission to go to sleep and not worry about it, because I know tomorrow I've already made that promise that I'm going to set aside time to think about these worries that I'm worrying about right now. And that lets me know that I can go to sleep.
Never watch the news before you go to bed at night, unless there's something really, really important that you have to stay aware of, as a current weather situation that you have to know about. Other than that, do not turn the news on before you go to sleep at night. Whatever you see or hear on the news mostly is going to be things that are shocking, negative, or just break your heart. Very seldom do we see positive things on the news. And the last thing you want to do at night before you go to sleep is have that as the last thing you see. Because whatever you see or listen to before you go to sleep at night, your mind will replay the whole night through your REM state. We want you to get the best night's sleep. Don't watch the news before you go to bed.
Holiday is the time where our thought patterns are at its peak, our emotions are at its peak, and we're constantly going back to the previous times, because that's what really our body holds in the memory holds. And so what I always emphasize are two things: perception and awareness. If you can change your perception, by all means, look at your situation during the holidays from a different perspective. If you cannot do that, be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your body, be aware of your feelings. Because what happens is our thoughts reflect in our body. In other words, our body is a great detector of what we're feeling at that time. So if you have anxious thoughts, if you have stress going on, especially throughout the holidays, your body will be tense, your heart will be beating fast. You will be breathing fast as well. So you will find all of these different, they're so small, but once you really put your awareness to place, you will notice the difference. So once you are in that state of being aware of you, you will be able to change it. So if you feel that all of a sudden you really are kind of like not yourself as your normal self, pay attention to really what it is and where the anxiety is. Where is the stress? Where in your body it feels? You know, when you have calm thoughts, clearly you cannot have anxious body. If you have calm thoughts, your body will respond by being relaxed, right? So holiday is supposed to be time for relaxation and fun with family and peace. And, you know, let's be honest, not too many really of us who are going through holidays are in that space of peace and relaxation. Maybe after the holidays for a little bit, but not during, because we have all of these prepping to do. But now, knowing some of the tools that I'm about to share, that can actually change for you. So when you wake up in the morning and you already have that anxious feel going through your body, let's say it's a Thanksgiving morning and all of that rush is coming because you know you have to cook, you have to clean, you have the family coming over, you have to decorate, and all of these things in one day. So you can take a deep breath, and in that morning you can really set your intention and choose how your day will go. Choose to, what thoughts will you be entertaining? What behaviors will you choose to have? And really put your awareness to that in that very morning, because once you set some intention, your day will kind of manifest. Your day will be like that magnet, and attached to it, the outcome, what your intention will be. So if you wake up in the morning and you will choose that you will stay calm throughout the day, really catch yourself and ask yourself, how would calm look in me right now? Because you will be having situations or trials where you will be putting your turkey in the oven, for example, and you will feel that anxiety because you will look at the clock and you'll go, oh my God, it's already 2 o'clock. Oh my God, and I still have to do this. I think we've all been there. So at that time, check with yourself again and say, what will calm look like now? How would it feel if I were calm in this moment? And you will feel immediately that calmness. Or another tool is take a deep breath, or 2 or even 3. So breathing really relaxes you instantly. And it doesn't have to be a meditation for half an hour or 40 minutes, because really clearly during the holidays, who does have time to meditate for that long? You could set yourself some time in the morning to meditate, of course, if you can. But there will be a time during the day that you will simply not be able to, because there's so much to do that you will really have to kind of, you know, stay with focused what you have to do that day. But if you focus on your breathing, even throughout cooking and all, whatever have you, that's really the key. So stay calm by breathing, or stop what you're doing and just take a couple of cleansing breaths. In, let your diaphragm to expand, and out, where you contract your diaphragm. And that's called obviously the diaphragmatic breathing. But if you do these, really let your belly to go full when you breathe in, and let it expand, you will feel immediately the oxygen going into your brain, the oxygen going into your body, and immediately, instantly, you will feel calmer. Another thing is that may be very helpful is to journal. Is to really journal the night before or the night after, to really put your perception into how you feel during the holidays, because that may give you some good clues for the next time, for the next holidays. You don't really have to journal during the holidays because clearly, you know, we're that busy. But if you can devote that time, and it could be just 15 minutes, write down your feelings, write down what you feel and where it's coming from, and see if there's any association to it. There is something really healthy about journaling, because that helps you to verbalize your feelings. It helps you to verbalize your thoughts, and helps you actually to process and release it at the same time. So this way you don't have to go to your spouse and lash at them, for example. You don't have to take that anger that you're feeling, which may not even be associated with them, but you can really write that anger out in your journal and really find out what is it that you're angry about, what is it that you're anxious about or stressing about. And these are like the self-help tools that can really put your holidays into a completely different perception. Play relaxing music. That's another thing that you can do whilst you are cooking, whilst you're preparing, or whatever have you. There's so many great relaxation music that you can play. And for sleep, at the same time, before you go to bed, set your time for like 10 minutes and just clearly listen to a nice relaxation music.
When I was little, we often visited my grandparents for holidays or weekends. The house was full of people and excitement. And I remember with all the cousins under the same roof, It was hard to settle down at night and go sleep. And then my grandmother would pull out these very heavy vintage fur coats, the kind that was used in old times to keep people warm during winter while riding horse carriages. She'd throw those coats on top of our blankets and say, "Now kids, you'll sleep better." As a little girl, I really believed that there was a magic in this furs that helps us sleep. As an adult, of course, I understand now that the secret is in the heavy weight of those coats. It's comforting, it helps to release anxiety and stress, and promotes better sleep. No wonder the weighted blankets are so popular now. So if you are, or your loved ones, having trouble falling asleep, try using an extra blanket and pick a heavier one.
So how would you like to feel a little bit more refreshed and a lot less stressed at the end of your day, or anytime during the middle of the day if the stress hits then? I'd like to take you through a Shavasana exercise, which is the rest and relaxation pose that you do at the end of a yoga class. So go ahead and lay down on the ground, have your legs straight, body comfortable. Close your eyes, get settled. And then let your next breath be an even deeper breath. Allow it to come in and fully refresh your mind, body, and spirit. And then you can very gently begin to stretch. Feel the body, make any noises you need to let it go. And then relax. Release the skin all over your body, just from the crown of your head. Relax the skin going over your face and imagine smoothing it out. Smoothing out the skin going across the forehead. Smoothing out the skin going across the bridge of your nose and over your cheekbones. Smoothing out the skin going across your chin, behind your ears, and then down your supple throat. So allow your ear canals to grow wide and open. Imagine your ears are connecting to one another in the middle of your head and then expanding out towards the sides. Let your eyes sink back into their sockets and picture the color black, which is very soothing to the eyes. Relax your jaw. Let the tongue go from the roof of your mouth. Relax your lips if they're pursed. Picture a calm yet happy expression on your face. Allow the tops of the shoulders to gently go back. Relax your upper arms. Release your elbows. Let the forearms go. Relax your wrists, palms.
Gosh, family, that can bring smiles to some people, and to some people, it brings a lot of anxiety.
Boundaries, knowing when to say no, and how to say no.
Gets invitations that you really don't want to accept during Christmas. And you might have all kinds of reasons for that. Maybe you're an introvert like me.
We have all been invited to places or parties during the holidays or even outside of holidays that we simply don't feel like
Are you getting overwhelmed by all the invitations you're receiving? Do you find it difficult to say no? Or maybe you're feeling guilty about declining some of the invitations. Here's the tips that might help.
Gosh, family, that can bring smiles to some people, and to some people, it brings a lot of anxiety. I really enjoy going down and seeing my family. But as I remember from when I was little, that we had to go to my grandmother's, we had to go to my aunts, we had to go here, then to the other grandmothers. And I remember as a child thinking, I just really wanted to stay home and play with my toys. So I've got to say that probably halfway through my children's life, because we had relatives that were quite a distance. It was an hour-and-a-half drive, maybe 2 hours one way, and it could have been an hour drive the other way. And trying to fit all of that in, I mean, we were driving from Christmas Eve, then home in the morning, and then we were packing up and we were leaving for the day. And after a handful of years of that, especially when I had my third child, I realized that I was doing what I said that I didn't like. And so what we started doing was just telling the family that this was our special time and we were going to enjoy it at home with the children. What I finally did, especially when my older son and his girlfriend, and then of course, you know, she had to go up to her parents, and I told my children, I said I would never put myself in the middle of what they wanted to do for Christmas. So what we started doing was we would have our Christmas on Christmas Eve, and they would come down for Christmas Day. That worked out for us at that point. With my other immediate family, when I made that decision that, you know, we were going to stay home for Christmas and we were going to have a cozy little time and enjoy Christmas, and my mother would come by. She would drive up because she lived in another state. I'm in Pennsylvania, she was in Maryland, and we looked at it as Christmas week. When we went to see the family, we just went and did it another day. Were some of them happy about it? You know, I'm not sure, but I think, you know, you really have to look at what's good for your family, what's right for your family. Long run, you really have to look at how it's affecting your children too. I know it's tough. You have to look at the whole picture, but it was not easy when I went and made that decision that we were not going to be driving all hours of the night on Christmas Eve. It's dangerous at times, and I just had to make that decision that, you know, we would come up another day, and that's what we did. And trust me, everybody got used to it. You just have to make that decision.
Big thing for the holiday season, for Christmas, is boundaries, knowing when to say no and how to say no. You know, over Christmas time we get a lot of invitations, and as much as we would like to, can't always accept every single invitation, and people find it really hard to say no. So when I'm coaching people, first thing I like to let people know is, number one, it's okay to say no. You are not obligated to accept every invitation, and I don't always think it's possible with our busy schedules. We've got to know when we can put some time away for ourselves. And so if there's things that you're not able to do, the first step is to recognize, what are my limits? Going out every night and going to work every day and managing my family might not be the best option. And it's a good way to get really run down and add to your stress level. So if there's an invitation that you just can't accept for whatever reason, it's okay to thank that person. You know what? Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for the invite. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend, but I hope you have a really great night, and I look forward to hearing about how it went. You don't have to give a reason or an excuse, because sometimes the only reason we need is quiet time for ourselves. So just be thankful and appreciate the invite and say thank you, but I'm just not able to attend. And you'll find that by saying no, you're going to have a little bit more energy for yourself, and you're not going to feel stressed out. I know for myself, if I take an invitation and I attend an event and I'm not ready for it, I'm tired, sometimes I start to feel resentful, I end up going late, and I don't really enjoy it. So I do better when I manage my time more effectively, and sometimes saying no is the best thing in the moment.
What are you, a person that gets invitations that really don't want to accept during Christmas? And you might have all kinds of reasons for that. Maybe you're an introvert like me. You just don't want to go to a gazillion parties. I don't really like to have to go to a room full of people I don't know and have to interact with them all. I just don't enjoy that. I go to some with my husband because he does enjoy that. But I just don't want to go to extra if I don't have to. I heard Oprah say this years ago. She said, when I'm faced with a decision I don't want to say yes to immediately, I tell the person, well, I'm going to pray about that, which I think is kind of a great, beautiful solution. I think another way is to say, you know, I'm really making a strong effort this holiday season to protect my health. I'm really going to rest. I'm going to get to bed earlier. And I'm just kind of taking care of myself this year. I don't want to be sick. I think most people would let you off the hook with that. Another way to say no to the invitation is that's one night we've scheduled for family.
We have all been invited to places or parties during the holidays or even outside of holidays that we simply don't feel like going to. Two things. Pay attention to your feelings. What is the energy behind it? Sometimes you may feel simply, I'm just too lazy, or it could be my insecurities that are preventing me from really being social. It could be that feeling of inadequate. It could be the feeling of not enough, or some other insecurities that might be popping up that prevent you from really being social, going out there, having fun. Because once you overcome that and you tell yourself, you know what is it that I have to lose? You could actually go and have fun and have open mind. You know, sometimes it's the fear of unknown. Who's gonna be there? What are they gonna say when they see me? What am I gonna say to them? And you know, you have these expectations and the fear of the unknown. And the question really here to ask is, what if I'm gonna have so much fun that it will be an unforgettable moment? What if there is a possibility that this party will be one of the best parties that I've ever been to? So these are some questions to ask yourself about. Now, if you feel that something's telling you really don't want to go for whatever reason, maybe you already have some other plans, maybe you already have different commitments, then you can simply be honest and say, I just don't feel like going. You don't want to hurt their feelings, but at the same time, you want to be honoring yourself. And you could be honest and say, listen, this is a time of the year or this particular day, I prefer to be
As we grow older, we become a lot more protective of our time. Time is our most valuable resource, and sometimes giving it to someone means taking it away from your family and yourself. Clarifying your priorities makes it very easy to say no. Make a list of your priorities for this holiday season and check in. So what are your priorities? Is it spending your time with family? Is it your health, your sanity? Not to go broke this season? And for some of you, it may be staying sober. Don't feel bad about declining any invitation that clashes with your priority list. It's okay not to want to spend your holiday with in-laws or Aunt Susie or some friends. Even if they are nice people and you love them, give yourself permission to spend your holiday the way you want, with whom you want. After all, the rules to happiness are very simple. Do what you want and don't do what you don't want. Be with whom you want and don't be with whom you don't want.
Give yourself permission to just step outside of the environment you're currently in.
Tip for you that I call staying
And you
soft.
realize how easy it is. Feel calm.
This is a really special moment, and you are going to laugh at it
By
one day.
exercising grace, by having compassion, and mostly loving everybody, and most
The
importantly,
easiest way to change the state of your kids is to change yours first. If you're calm and relaxed, your kids will be calm and relaxed too. If your kids are getting out of control, don't give in into that impulse to shut out. Instead, bring your focus back to yourself. Where your focus goes, there your energy flows. By doing so, you are bringing back and concentrating all your energy, and you will instantly feel more grounded and much more calm. And then you can go back and talk to your kids. Our mind is continuously stimulated by all the incoming information, but intaking information is not the same as learning or applying it. Intaking is happening when our senses are stimulated by the outside sources, whenever we read or listen to something or interacting with other people. But our mind can only process all this information in silence. And by saying silence, I don't mean lack of sound, but rather the lack of all outside stimulants. And this is possible only when you're alone. Only then your mind can operate at the level where complex thought patterns are possible, where your mind can derive wisdom from everything you've seen or heard. Only then critical problem solving is possible. And now imagine yourself during a holiday. You are surrounded by friends and family. Your kids are running around. Everyone's talking to you at the same time. The TV is on. There is music on background. Your phone is ringing non-stop. And at the same time, you have a lot on your mind. Everything that you have to take care of during holidays. Your mind is bombarded non-stop and you have absolutely no time to process it. And here come poor choices, bad decisions. You agree to things you would normally not agree to. You take on obligations that you'll resent later. And it seems that you cannot think straight at all. You know how hard it is for you, and now imagine how hard it is for your children. The solution is simple. Create little pauses in this madness. Take small breaks, even if it's just for a few minutes. Step outside for some fresh air. Go to bathroom, splash your face, wash your hands, and make some time for a nap. In my house, I just say, quiet time. And we turn off everything, TV, music, phones, and everyone goes to their own room. And you don't have to sleep if you don't want, but make sure to give yourself some quiet time. When my son was little, I'd make these tiny breaks every hour, just for a few minutes. And we would just stay where we are. If we were playing in the living room, I'd just say, quiet time, and turn off the light, and we would just lie right there on the floor, on the rug, and my son would cuddle up with his teddy bear, and I'd rub his back or massage his feet. Not talking was allowed at that time. Holiday or not, if you give your children more quiet time, they will be much healthier, happier, and they will grow up much more intelligent. And if you're having guests over or visiting your family for extended periods of times, just let them know this is what you're doing for your children and for yourself. Trust me, they will love this idea and they will be happy to go to their rooms for a little while to rest. And by the way, your night sleep will improve too, because at night now your brain will not have to work that hard processing everything that happened during the day.
When you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, give yourself permission to just step outside of the environment you're currently in, even if it's for 5 minutes, even 2 to 3 minutes. Change your view, your perspective. Step outside of it.
Hi friends, this is James Harrison here, and I have a holiday tip for you that I call staying sovereign. Now what does that mean? We all experience the joys of meeting up with family and friends during the holiday, and sometimes things get said that can be stressful. A lot of people experience that. So for me, what staying sovereign is this: where is my inner king or queen in any given situation? So say Uncle Fred says the things that Uncle Fred likes to say. Am I going to become triggered by this? Well, the answer is the old me would have said yes, but the new me steps back, takes a breath, lets my ego detach from the scenario. I call in the energy of my higher wise self, and instead of saying, well, Fred, let me tell you what I think of that, I go to a place of sovereign energy. So if you know the archetypes at all, that's the old parts of ourselves. Think of the wise king or queen, not the tyrant, definitely not the tyrant, and not the abdicator. So the good sovereign energy does not abdicate their responsibility, but they don't boss people around or tell them what to do. They bestow gratitude and blessings on people. So either with my words or wordlessly, I might bless Uncle Fred for all that he does do, and I might choose to see the good in him, even if I don't agree with what he's saying. So that's my little 2-minute tip. Stay sovereign during the holidays. Notice how you feel when you do that. And good luck to you, and blessings to you and your families.
If I can tell you anything as a mom that my children are grown now, is to really enjoy them when they're small. I really get out of the rat race. I can tell you that there were Christmases that it was like Christmas Wonderland for my children, because I was trying to make up for all the things that I didn't have when I grew up. And I'll tell you, we had this one little tradition that we started, and I don't remember how I found out about it. I'm sure when I say this, many of you are going to know about it, but it was called the Christmas pickle. And so I ended up finding, after the first year, I realized that I had to find 3 of them. So I went to a Christmas tree hill that we have locally and bought these various 3 different size pickles, and sort of like they were Christmas ornaments. And the idea was to hang them in the tree somewhere. We were supposed to have 1. Whoever found it got to open the first gift. Well, I can tell you that when we incorporated that little tradition, that was probably the kids' favorite thing to do. So they could come down in the morning and be like, "Oh my God, look what I have, and look what I have, and look what I have." But then they would all stop. They would all stop, and they would go, "Oh, the pickle," and then they would all be trying to find it in the tree. So, you know, I decided I was going to get 2 more, and they were going to be different sizes. So whoever found the first one, yes, you know, got a special gift to open. But I made sure that I had a pickle for each of them. So sometimes they were pretty hidden, and it took them a while to find them. And sometimes it was after they opened up the other gifts. But it ended up being a really cool tradition. And the kids still remember that to this day. So if there's one thing that I can leave you with, is write down, keep a diary or something. That would be sort of cool. I always said I was going to do that. I never did. So I'm going to tell you, do it. Like even if it's just Christmas, and every Christmas, like Christmas Eve or the next day, you sat down and wrote a little diary for Christmas of 2018, you know, and Christmas of 2019. And every Christmas you did that. All of the memories that you could go back and read, and after you're long gone, your kids could read to their children. And because, you know, you really do forget. You forget all of those little tiny times. I remember when my oldest son, we were still in we hadn't built our house yet. We were still in our townhouse, and I think I was probably pregnant with my second son, and the tree was all decorated. And I came down one morning. He was not quite 3 years old yet. And I came down one morning, and he was so proud of himself. He had plunked all of the balls, getting them off of the tree, had them all lined up, and then he was putting them one by one back on the tree. He probably had them all in this one little area of the tree, and he was just so proud of himself. And I was sitting there going, "Oh my gosh." But, you know, then you look back on it years later, and it just sort of makes you smile. I think that's what I would tell you, is that when you see those little moments, before you catch yourself, you know, like yelling or getting upset, like take a deep breath and sit back, and then understand that this is a really special moment, and you are going to laugh at it one day. And maybe when you do that, you'll learn to laugh at it at that time.
Another thing I feel is super important during the holidays is to exercise grace. There are people that have caused us harm. There are people that have caused us pain, especially if you're traveling, visiting your family, and there are those moments, there are those people that have hurt you previously. And so your opportunity, not a struggle, your opportunity here is to deal with those emotions, those feelings, and to exercise grace. You know, your opportunity is to really be graceful with those people who hurt you in the past, knowing they had their own experience. They were acting based on their own beliefs. They were acting by how they thought they acted best at that given time. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So have compassion that they were somewhere at some stage, at some point in their lives, and that's how they were behaving the way they were. It is highly unlikely that they hurt you purposely. Chances are they really clearly were doing their best. If you exercise grace and you accept it, the quicker you will be able to move past that. And hey, you can even say it out loud. You can say, you know, what you did hurt me. And be honest about it and give them grace and accept it and exercise forgiveness as well, because whatever goes on, whatever the pain is, it is not their pain. It is yours. It is all about you. So whatever occurs in your life, whether it is during the holidays or not, remember, it is all about you. And you have a beautiful opportunity to change that. You have this beautiful opportunity to really look within yourself and see what you can change. See what kind of thought patterns you can exercise, what emotions you can switch quickly by exercising grace, by having compassion, and mostly loving everybody, and most importantly, yourself.
Sometimes people, when they get inebriated, can get a little upset or teary-eyed. Don't jump into the emotional side of that. Don't fight with them or argue with them or try to convince them. It's a waste of your breath, your time, and anxiety, because chances are they won't remember.
Now I'm going to use a guest speaker, Bella, as an example to show you how to practice breathing to help you to deal with moments of stress, tension, and anxiety. To get started with just putting one hand on your heart center. As you're doing that, put the other hand in the middle of your belly or between your rib cages. So now you got one hand on the heart center, the other hand in the middle of the belly or between rib cages. Now just start breathing slowly. Inhale to 4 counts. Hold 4 counts. Exhale 4 counts. Hold 4 counts. As you're doing this slow, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Feel what's changing as you are feeling through your hands on your heart center and on your belly. Do you feel through your hands that your heart center and your belly are changing in a 3D dimension? Feel that change, the 3D dimensional change, that your heart center and your belly are moving. For every inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. They're changing on the front side, on the side, and even in the back side. Feel, are they expanding, holding, or shrinking? Once again, put your hands, one on the heart center, one on your belly. Inhale, count to 4. Hold, count to 4. Exhale, count to 4. Hold, count to 4. Feel the 3D changes of the movements on your heart center and belly through your hands. After you've practiced that a few times, now let's move on to the next. This time, I'm going to use another guest speaker, Tony. As you get used to breathing slowly and be aware of how your heart center and your belly are changing in the movements when every time you inhale and exhale. Now think about a moment when you feel calm, relaxed, peaceful, and stable. If it had a color, what would it be? If it had the shape, what would it be? If it was moving, what direction was it moving? Let's just say, for example, this great feeling is like a blue triangle moving towards you. Now, inhale. Think about this blue triangle is coming, moving inside of you. Hold your breath. Think about this blue triangle is moving in the direction towards you, over inside you. And this moment, think about another negative feeling, a feeling that makes you feel stressed, anxious, or with a lot of tension. If this had a color, what would it be? If it had a shape, what would it be? If it was moving, which direction? Now, let's just say, for example, this negative feeling is like a red circle and it's moving backwards away from you. When you do your inhale, hold, exhale. As you exhale, think about this red circle is moving outside of you, coming out, leaving you. As you exhale and hold, this red circle is going backwards, leaving your body. So if we put it together, inhale, the blue triangle positive feelings, bring it into you, inside of your body. Hold it, feel that movement, the direction going forwards towards you is coming over you. Exhale, think about that red circle of negative feelings is leaving your body, it's coming out of your body. Hold, think about that movement, how it's going backwards, away from you, leaving your body. As you practice a few more times, every time when you inhale and hold, you bring in that image of the positive feelings. Every time when you exhale and hold, you get rid of that negative image of negative feelings. Let it leave your body. Let's try again. Inhale, bring it in, think about that positive image. Hold, let it go through your entire body. Send it all over. Exhale, think about that image of negative feelings leaving your body. Hold. Continue to send it out, send it out, send it out. Repeat this exercise a few more times, and you realize that image of negative feelings are far, far, far away from your body. It's not there anymore. And you realize how easy it is to bring in the image of positive feelings to help you feel calm, relaxed, peaceful, and stable. You could practice this at any time. During the holiday season, whenever you feel you need a moment to slow down.
Here we are, Christmas time again. Christmas. all the excitement, all the hustle and bustle. And if you're like the rest of us, a little bit of stress thrown in there too, maybe. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of the things that help me get through the Christmas season. One of the things that I do every year is, instead of cooking, is I just lay out a huge buffet of food. First thing in the morning, I lay out fruits, veggies, muffins, bagels, appetizers, desserts, and I throw in some Christmas decoration and some little tea lights, and it's really pretty. And people can just come and eat all day, and it keeps me from having to go in and out of the kitchen. And the other benefit is, if company stops by, I've already got food ready, appetizers and snacks. So that's one of the things I do every year. It's always been a big hit and really lessens my time in and out of the kitchen. And cleanup. There's less cleanup too. So that's one of the things that has been very helpful.
Now, another thing that helps keep stress away during the holidays for you and your kids is making sure you're getting proper meals. It's easy to run in and out, have a lot of quick meals because you're doing other stuff. You might be baking, you might be wrapping gifts, you might be sending out decorations. Hey, don't let that stop you from having good meals. Here's another trick that I learned from my own life, and I don't remember using it during the holidays, but I sure used it when both my children were in soccer on separate teams and my husband participated too as a coach. I did during that time of year, I did once a month cooking. What you do with once a month cooking is you take your calendar and you schedule out meals for the whole month. Now, don't freak out. You don't need 30 different meals. Pick about 10 dinners, or even 7 that your family likes and they eat over and over. Because let's face it, we eat the same foods over and over, don't we? Don't we eat the same foods all the time? Yeah. So pick those out and put those at least twice that month. And maybe you like them every week. Some families, they have Tuesday's taco night, Friday's pizza night. So maybe every Friday for that month, you put pizza or spaghetti. So once you have all your meals planned out, write down all the ingredients that you need to make those meals, and you say ×4 on the ingredients, and you go shopping for all the ingredients that you need. And you set aside a day, let's say a Saturday, for example, if you work Monday through Friday, set aside a Saturday, and you're going to pre-cook all the ingredients for those meals that will stay. So let's say you're making spaghetti. You're going to pre-cook the sauce, the meat, or meatballs, or veggies, whatever your family eats. And so you'll have the sauce with the meat and or vegetables all cooked up. And then you're going to, that's for all 4 meals. So separate those into 4 different containers and freeze those. Now, on the day you eat spaghetti, all you have to do is cook the pasta. You can cook the pasta that day. What's that take? 7 to 8 minutes, I think, for regular pasta, about 14 for my gluten-free pasta. That's all you have to do that day. And you can even, let's say you like bread with that, you can even get the bread ahead and freeze that, and you pull that out that's already purchased. You don't have to go to the store for that. It really cuts down on the shopping. And so you're going to pre-cook everything. If you have pizza night, you can have the sauce frozen. If you have meat toppings, some of those you could mix with the sauce. Let's say it's ground beef or ground sausage. And some of those you could just have on hand in the refrigerator. Pepperoni keeps forever in the fridge. And then the crust, if you like homemade crust, then just make those ahead and freeze those. You're going to put together everything that can be contained in the refrigerator or freezer for that month. You're going to do that on that one day. Go ahead and get that all done, and it's just, then you have the meals planned ahead. It's a matter of pulling out the stuff, and you're ready to go. All you really need is the very freshest ingredients.
You know, I spent all summer long losing that weight, and now here I am spending the holidays, and I know I'm going to put, you know, at least 10 pounds on, because I was there I did it. You know, that holiday poundage went on, and then I spent the summers trying to get rid of it. So I have a sort of a few little things in the back of my kit now. I do some nutritional cleansing. I do what I preach. And what I say to people is, if you can eat good 90% of the time, snitch the other 10, or life really isn't fun. It's okay to go and indulge. Don't sit there and put yourself in a bad mood because there's something there that you want to eat. If I go overboard, you know, I have a nutritional cleanse that I know on Monday morning I'm going to be doing. I also like to try to plan ahead. So if I know that there might be a lot of things there that I can't eat, then maybe I'll have one of my protein, in a shaker cup really quick before I leave. So I know that I'm not going to go there and I'm not going to be ravishing hungry. So I've had that little bit of protein that's taken off my hunger, and then I can go and I can sort of pick and choose what I want to eat. And it makes it a whole lot more enjoyable than going somewhere because you've ran around all day long and you haven't taken the time to eat anything. And so then you're at this party and you're at this smorgasbord of food and you're just going to eat everything in sight. That way, if you have something like that before you leave, it really takes the edge off. It takes minutes, you know, to put it in my shaker cup and shake it up.
Each year I get invited to about 6 different Christmas meals and functions that's going on. And like many other people, I have to watch my weight. And so if I went along to all these and ate everything that was just put there before me, I would soon be putting on weight. And I don't want that. I've worked all year keeping my weight off. I do not want to blow it over a short period of time between Christmas and New Year. So what I try and do is, there's only a few Christmas dinners I will go to and I will only eat very small proportions, and I will watch exactly what I eat. I will eat the healthier option. You know, if there's a choice between Christmas pudding and some fresh fruit, I will have some fresh fruit. I will have boiled potatoes rather than roast ones, and I will just generally watch what I eat. And you can still go along to Christmas functions and you can still have maybe a sparkling mineral water and drink and socialise with people, and people don't have to realise that you're weight watching at the same time. But unfortunately it's just one of those things, as I've got older in life I have to watch that, and that's again what I would suggest to anybody. And again, you can have hypnosis to help with that. You can have a session of hypnosis for those positive suggestions and eating healthy choices.
So here's the holiday. You want to stick to your eating plan. You've made a decision. This is not going to be the year I gain 10 pounds over the holidays, over Christmas, over Hanukkah. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to stick to my eating plan. It's kind of hard when you get to a party and you see beautiful foods, maybe food you only eat once a year. But here's my very best tip. My number one tip is to eat before you go. Even if you're going for dinner, eat a little dinner before you go. Eat a small plate dinner at your house. You're not going to be so hungry that you're driven to make poor decisions. You just want to be in control. Also, if drinking is an issue, be the designated driver. That's pretty simple. No, I'll just have a soft drink. I'll just have water. I'm the designated driver tonight. That makes that part pretty darn easy. I learned when I had celiac disease, I had to eat gluten-free, and I didn't know how to do it yet. Sometimes I take my own meal with me. If I'm not sure there'll be safe foods for me, I take something to eat myself. Now, if that's embarrassing for you, then I do the other thing. I eat before I go. But if you really have to, take your own food. And I always take emergency food. Like I have an emergency bar that I always keep that in my purse. If I absolutely get someplace where I cannot find any safe food for me to eat, I have one of those bars that I can fall back on in a pinch. Another tip, keep some nuts in your car or even in your purse if you have to, a small little plastic bag with nuts. Nuts are super filling and long lasting. You know, I really don't expect when I go someplace that people will have safe food for me. There are situations where I'll ask what they're having, if they're having anything that I can eat or have something special. If it's a company meal and it's being catered, I'll call ahead and ask if they will have food that I can have. It's pretty simple for me as long as I have basic food without a lot of sauces added to, or a plain salad. That's safe for me, and they'll do it. If a chef or cook knows ahead of time, they'll pretty much always accommodate you. So call ahead if you have to, and make sure they have a meal for you that follows your plan. In the end, you're in charge of your own eating. Don't let anyone else dictate to you what you're going to eat. And so if it really comes down to it, my number one tip again, eat before you go, if that's what it takes for you to stay on your meal plan. And then you'll be happy all the way through New Year's that you did what was best for you.
That ended up being a little difficult for us as my children got older, especially because of my middle son. When he was 11 or 12, we found out that he was celiac, and that's been 15 years ago. So that was way before anybody really even understood what celiac was. I learned to just tell people he had a wheat allergy. It was a whole lot easier. But that meant that I had to be very aware, especially back then when there wasn't a lot known about it. So if they went anywhere, we went anywhere, I was always the one who brought dessert. We finally connected it to a lot of our, not that we were thought we were that unhealthy, but there were a lot of little things that we connected it to. And one was my daughter's urinary infections. You know, we didn't connect that until she was probably 8 or 9. And we went through a lot with that, trying to do it more holistically. And here it was, we just had to cut out gluten. So there's all kinds of things that you have to think about, especially nowadays, because there's so many people out there that have allergies to all kinds of things. And actually, on the opposite side of that, if you're having company over, that really should be a question that you ask the people that you're inviting over. Do they have their children or themselves? Do they have any kind of allergies that you need to be aware of? I was never one who liked to have a big sit-down dinner. Family didn't want that. So we all brought a dish, which lots of times made it easy. But it is something that you have to be aware of, whether you have people come over to your house or you go over to theirs. As you go over to theirs, sometimes it's easier because you can just bring what you need to bring. Especially if your children are younger, you have to pay attention to what's there so that you don't end up with a sick child that night. Been there, done that. Not over the holidays, but I did when we were finding out, you know, that my son was celiac, and we learned everything the hard way. So now it's one of my specialties, and now it's out there so much. It's just, you know, it's everywhere. So much easier to shop for it now. So there's absolutely no excuse.
Holiday meals can really take toll on our bodies, and one of the best things you can do to help your body is to drink hot water. It's much better for hydration. Our body cannot absorb cold water. It perceived as an attack, as danger. Hot water is much better for hydration. It's comforting and soothing, and it supports our digestive system. Start your morning with a large cup of water, and don't gulp it all at once. Sip it slowly. And then throughout the day, have some more. Sip between meals, sip when you're thirsty, sip when you're looking for a little more comfort. And remember, hot water is good, cold water is bad. Cold water slows down digestion, weakens our immune system, and it actually speeds up. There are a few things you should not be consuming before leaving the house during cold weather. Honey, raspberry, and cranberry. Yes, you heard me right. They contain large amounts of salicylic acid. They act like aspirin. They lower your body temperature by making you sweat, which can be very helpful when you're sick, but make sure not to have those before leaving your house, because you'll start sweating, and if you'll go out into the cold, you can get sick.
Here we are. It's Christmas time again. Christmas. All the excitement, all the hustle and bustle.
Ah, yes. The Christmas season coming in.
May peace and happiness and prosperity be yours during this holiday season and throughout the new year.
Stay sovereign during the holidays. Notice how you feel when you do that. And good luck to you, and blessings to you and your families.
I wish you all an absolutely wonderful Christmas. Enjoy the holidays. You know, learn to say no and do it for yourself and for your children. And Mom, stay out of the kitchen the whole time. You know, make stuff ahead of time. Don't miss all of the fun while you're in the kitchen trying to cook and make everybody's happy and dinner served right. And try to, make some things ahead of time so that you can go in there and just put them together quickly, so you're not missing out on all the fun, with everybody else. So I hope you all have a lovely holiday.
From everyone that took part in this project, a huge thank you for choosing to spend this time with us and for watching. We're wishing you a very happy holiday.